Astrology service at your service. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our weekly live stream. I'm Kian The One at your service. And as always, one with the sun. How's everybody's week? How have you been enjoying the beginning of April? This is actually one of the more intense astrological periods that we are dealing with. The only other thing that we have to keep in mind is going to be when we get to June, the middle of June specifically. Shout out to Nano CBD and shout out to Cheddar in the chat. That's the next time where it's going to get a little bit more intense. But then the rest of 2025 is actually looking pretty good. So I look forward to that. Today we're going to do something different. We're going to do something special. We're going to dive into some music. So this is the Moog 1. We're going to turn it on. We're going to do a little sound journey. And then I'm going to share with you guys, maybe before, maybe after, some of the grand realizations of the week. And why this live is titled Music to Illuminate the Path Forward. Because starting here on out, a lot of things are going to start to change in this channel with the things that I'm providing. Some of you have been here since day one of the launch of One with the Sun. And we're taking it somewhere different. And I'm pretty excited. I am not going to lie to you. So, since the beginning of this, we tried to... Watch, you want to see how I put this loser in timeout? Bye-bye. You come here, you show respect. So, since the beginning of our live streams, I'm actually listening to like choral music. Shout out to Deontay in the chat. Since the beginning of these live streams, okay, about 2 months ago, February 7th, that's when I launched. And since we started them, it's mostly been about astrology, philosophy, wisdom, and these kinds of things. And this past week was very interesting. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cheddar. It's the Persian genes, you know. Since the beginning of our time here, I've been talking those kinds of subjects. And then there was a point sometime, I think last week, when I was taking the break from doing the daily live streams, which, by the way, let me know how you guys like the current time that we are doing this, you know, around like 7:30. Since we started doing the live streams, and I just want to shout out Ricardo too, says, "Where are you in this moment?" I am here in the studio. Last week I thought, I was like, you know, how can I combine things that I'm really passionate about? Music, astrology, numerology, geometry, okay? Las Vegas, Ricardo. And then I stepped back and I was like, wait a minute. This is all in my music. You know, this is everything that I'm doing is in my music. And if you guys check out my last album, okay, it was called 11. It is It literally is the number 11, right? Two ones. The cover of it is the Aquarius symbol. It's dedicated to the age of Aquarius, this age of humanity coming together. It had numerology in it, astrology in it. It's obviously music and geometry too, because I created certain visuals, geometric visuals with it. So I was just like, well, why am I talking about astrology, philosophy, wisdom, numerology, all these things outside of my music when my music contained it this entire time? And if you guys if you guys checked out some of the shorts that I released two that were very intentional. But then I was like, you know what? I need to, I need to shift direction because I could have easily went and become like an astrologer, content creator and stuff. But I was like, no, my original love is and always has been and will always be music. And yes, Deontay, I do make music. These are my synthesizers in the background. I'm going to play some music for everybody here shortly. Just want to share some thoughts. So from here on out, I rebranded, not even rebranded, but I was like, let's stop preaching and talking to people. Of course, these live streams are for you guys. It's for us to come hang out, community. We can talk spirituality, astrology. We can play music, do a little bit of sound healing, and just hang out. This is just purely what these live streams are for. But the rest of it is going to be me combining astrology with music, right? Shout out to the shirt, Astrology Service. So we're going to combine these two in a brand new way. And obviously sacred geometry is and always will be a part of it. Same with numerology, same with spirituality, but those are my two biggest passions. And instead of speaking outside of the music about astrology, about spirituality, I want to create music with my teachings. Henceforth, the title of this live stream, Music to Illuminate the Path Forward. I've always thought of myself as a teacher. And I launched this like teaching career with the live streams and stuff. And you guys know the backstory. If you've been here, you guys know the backstory. And then I was about to embark on teaching the world about astrology. But I said, instead of speaking about it, why don't I make it a felt experience? My entire last album was about spirituality. It wasn't too on the nose, right? There were certain hints on the album, the numerology, and all that stuff to make it enough of a symbol for people to think about it, but not necessarily anything that's too on the nose. So from here on out, expect to see musical content. Review Doge. I think they're both the same thing, my friend. And I've certainly experimented with that. And if I didn't, this is the crazy part. It actually made me understand music so much more. It's crazy. Wild. So we are going to get into some music now. But from here on out, that's what I said. And so I'm going to find very creative ways to tie both of them together, music and astrology and spirituality and numerology. And I think it's going to be fun. How's your guys' week been? How was the week energetically? What did you guys feel? What did you realize? What became obvious? Did you guys have any realizations? What happened during the full moon? Yesterday was the full moon in Libra. And that was quite the journey, especially for me. James Bland, let's see. Don't ever lie. Don't do that. I saw a rainbow. That's cool. But yeah, yesterday was actually the full moon in the Libra Aries axes. So relationships were definitely highlighted yesterday. And this full moon was next to an asteroid called, well, the sun was next to an asteroid called Chiron, which is known as. That was funny. Give me 1 second. Cool. That was funny. Maybe we weren't supposed to hear that. Awesome. Yeah, so this full moon yesterday highlighted themes in regards to relationships and self. So, and for some of us, maybe it was intense. For others, maybe not so much. Maybe it was a realization. Maybe it was us knowing what we want, or something coming to light because the full moon stands across the sky from the sun. And something that is hidden is revealed. Henceforth, why it is called a culmination. I'm just setting up the mode 1 right now. So I'm curious how your guys' full moon yesterday was. Leave it in the chat. Leave it below. All right. So I think I might leave the microphone. Near. Let's go over here so y'all can see me. I might leave the microphone near the speaker so you guys get a good experience. All right. We're going to leave that here. I think it's a little too loud. me know how the sound is. If I need to turn it up, down. Let him cook now. I said, let him cook. All right, that was round one. You know, so basically, we're just vibing. You feel me? I don't know if you guys listen to healing music or not, like, you know, the frequency-based music, but right now we're at 440. We're going to take it down to 432 hertz, middle A tuning. So that's what I just did right now. And yeah, this is music to illuminate the path forward. Now, Trolley McTrollersons. What a name, bro. Oh, shit. That's so funny. Do you have any tape delays? I do. It's here. Now, this already has stereo delay. Like, you can hear it. I mean, I know the mic is away from the speaker, but you can hear the delay. Let's go in the chat. A highly educated shout out to you, Philly Phil. There's no snare. Yeah, this is an analog synthesizer. So if you guys want to check out my music, wherein there is snares, where there is other stuff, go to my channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed and check out all that good stuff. We go live every Sunday. The live stream sessions is a series called One with the Sun. And yeah, we're going to get into another one. I'm going to find another patch. This one is called Merciful Sideburns, okay? Yeah, we're going to get into another one. So just sit back, relax, and let's vibe. Sheesh. All right. That was round number 2 of music to illuminate the path forward. Shout out to 50 characters. Shout out to Dante. Thanks for the love, man. That's awesome. I'm not sure what I'm watching or listening to. Can someone please explain? Just music. Just music. Music inspired by spirituality. Inspired by something greater, something higher than, any earthly motivations. Or you could say, music to illuminate the path forward. Henceforth, the title of this live. But specifically, guys, this is called a Moog 1 synthesizer. This is actually one of my most prized possessions. I have other instruments too, but this is it's incredible. It's an incredible piece of instrument. And there's just so much we could do. So many realms to be explored. Oh, this is cool. Let me see what this is. I made this patch. Music is everything. Music is life. I actually made so you can make electronic sounds from scratch with this. So. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'll put the mic back here. Guys, make sure you guys are subscribed and hit the bell notifications. We do these live streams once a week on Sundays, and other days we're releasing content. So appreciate you guys' support in advance. We're going to go round 3. Realistically, I should be recording all this. John Price. Oh, nice. One of the speakers I'm listening to is a Harman M3. That's great. Railroad. Oh, Deontay said I just listened to 11. Nice, bro. Let me know what you think. And Faith said, would you consider becoming a Muslim? Would you consider becoming a music fan by listening to the Moog One? Is the real question here. John Price says, nice phasing. Yeah, that was cool. You know, this thing is has a lot of, and all this stuff. By the way, I tune all my music to 432 hertz, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, this is like a metallic sound. This is like the synth version of like singing bowls, if you guys know what that is. What we could do with this one is actually like create a sequence. Guess that one was already pre-programmed. Shout out Christus. This is obviously in an interesting key. Let's go to the step edit. Interesting. So we can play along with this. Check it out. Shout out C Plant in the chat too. Shout out to Christus Caramello. We're gonna actually experiment with this one because honestly, I don't know how it's gonna sound, but I like the step sequence in there. Dude, that shit is trippy. Trying to get some delay on here. I'm not gonna lie, I had fun with that one. Yo, shout out to Neurosci Doc in the chat. Hey, shout out to Dante. So John Price asked who built this. This is Moog synthesizers. This is a Moog synth. That's who built this. That was fun, right? That was actually really fun, and yeah, that was really fun. Neurosci says one with the sun just casually giving cosmic activations on YouTube Live. Let's go. Shout out to Nano CBD. Yo, I'm really happy you guys enjoyed it. You know, this is kind of going to be the Sunday vibe when we're going to get together. And like I said, I'm making this this transition from speaking to people what I want to teach to giving them the felt experience. You know, music is such a universal language. You know, we don't need words to understand music. Nobody does. That's what makes it so beautiful. And it's just, again, just very universal. And all of this that I played right now, this was in 432 hertz. So, you know what I'm saying? Some healing vibes. C Plant, shout out to C Plant. Take me to your dealer vibes. Right? Spaceman on the hunt for the Spaceman on the hunt for the pendulum. You feel me? Yeah, that was fun. Let's keep the vibes rolling. I think I'm gonna get to another one. We're gonna hit another one. Make sure, yeah, Nano. This is all in 432 hertz. So, what's beautiful about this, the Moog One, is it has like a master tuner, whereas these instruments over here, you kind of have to do it like analog. Like this is the tune button for the grandmothers in the back. So it's easy to make the global tuning something else. That was cool though. Metal rods, you feel me? That was really unexpected. Type shit. Okay, anyways, mezzo piano. We're not gonna play that one. We're actually gonna play like some like meditative, like atmospheric stuff. You know, like the last one was kind of like metallic and like, I don't know, but I'm feeling more. This is actually a good one. A little bit more meditative. There's some that I've made here. That one's not as meditative. This one sounds actually pretty nice. That one sounds pretty cool. Let's actually dive into that one. Yeah, I would find a nice place to relax and just let the vibes wash over you. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. This is, a lot of people in the chat, they've been following along for the past 2 months. And, this is the evolution of the live chats now. Just as Neuroside Doc says, casual cosmic activations, aka music to illuminate the path forward. So sit back, guys, relax, enjoy this next one. I think this is going to be like pretty peaceful, pretty calm. It's going to be nice. Sea plant, that would be a great idea. I had to grab my mic just to affirm that. Deontay says, what is your message to the world? That's a really good question, man. I think ultimately for us to realize our spiritual divine nature, whether I was talking about like astrology or philosophy or anything, the message is always the same, and that is you are not separate from the divine. And what's beautiful about music is that it helps us reach the other side so much easier. That's why I made this transition to music. Extra transition. It was always here. People who have been following me for the past couple months, maybe years, they know music has always been a very important part of what I do. And the reason why I made this shift recently, I took a week off. I was live streaming every day. And I was like, something had to shift. It just felt like something had to shift. And, I always talk about astrology whenever people come on here and we're talking live streams or whatever. I was in this very intense period of review. All I knew is that I wanted to be back out there and give of my gifts to the world. But now, it's just been a big shift into just purely musical stuff. Because music is so transcendent. It doesn't matter. Imagine how powerful music is, that people, in the mainstream, they can influence these young kids to go out and, whatever, get girls and get money and whatever, versus somebody straight up telling them that. That's how powerful music is it can influence the masses at a way that words fail. The words can never get to that power. And that's why I made this big shift, this big transition back into music. And if I am going to talk about spirituality, if I am going to talk about astrology, it's not just going to be me talking about it. One, it's going to be the felt experience through music. And also, it's going to be embedded in the music, not in a obvious too on the nose way, but just the people who have eyes to see and ears to hear will understand. Anyways, let's go. Breakthrough, y'all. All right, so sit back, relax, enjoy this next piece. This next piece is actually it's going to be more meditative. Take care, Dante. Thanks for stopping by. How y'all feeling? There's a little bit more meditative vibes right there. I'll make sure. Oh, it's caught against a cord. Anyways, man, what a day. What a day that we've had. Shout out to everybody who joined. This time, same time around next week. I think around like 7:30. I always pre-schedule these lives, so check in and see when the next scheduled live is, and then we'll dive into the music rabbit hole once again. We'll talk about the week. What a week I've had. You guys wouldn't even believe the week I had. I mean, there's definitely a duality, so. But, yeah. We'll just say 7:30 this time next week. Kian The One. One with the sun. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit the bell notification, because I go live Sundays, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I look forward to getting together with you guys next week. Like I said, a lot has changed. You know, you guys have been following the journey, so it'll be easy to... You guys are awesome, man. Like, seriously. But there is a full shift into music from here on out. With astrology is going to still stay, but you guys will see. I have something planned up my sleeve. But I look forward to hanging out next week. And again, shout out to everybody who joined and for all your love and support. This is, and will always be music to illuminate the path forward. See you guys next week. You guys have a blessed week ahead. Take care.